Okay, guys, welcome back. I have a lot to say. First off, apologies for the background. I feel like lighting wise, probably not going to be the best video, but alas. Um, and yeah, I feel like I might bang out a couple of these just because I'm just feeling very chatty. Not really feeling that chatty, but I feel like I should chat. Um, my little first theme I want to talk about is called being in the wrong. Now, I have a real issue with being in the wrong. It's like I don't know how to handle it. Um, I really grew up. We weren't really told when we were in the wrong. Like we knew we were in the wrong, and there was a lot of like very like silent treatment sort of esque. Like it just wasn't, basically wasn't outright said a lot of the time, or if it was, like we just didn't talk about it. Like if I did something wrong, I'd be like, you shouldn't have done that, and then silence, and like, or not even told that I shouldn't have done that. Like I just kind of knew it was kind of obvious, and you know. But I was like, yeah, I didn't grow up basically being confronted with it and like it being a conversation that you have when you're in the wrong and like how that has hurt someone and how to go past that, all that sort of thing. So it's really something that like now that I'm older, I don't have. It's not the skills, I would say more like the emotional skill. Yeah, emotional skill, I guess, to like be able to understand how that makes me feel. Like I know how that makes me feel. It makes me feel like shit. Obviously, I'm like when you're in the wrong, it's not a great feeling. But like how to sort of deal with that in a way. Um, I've written some little notes. I can't remember if I said that already, but I've got them in front of me. But basically, like I feel like it's like being confronted with mistakes and understanding that I can make mistakes has also been a long road, a long journey. That's not, obviously not to say I've never made a mistake, but I don't allow myself to make a mistake. Like I'd never do something that I thought might lead to be a mistake in a way. Does that make sense? Like if I thought I was going to do something wrong, I just wouldn't do it. I've always been kind of like goody two shoes, and like I always do stuff by the book and by the rules and blah blah blah. And I don't like to make mistakes, and that is a deeper conversation to have another time. But so yeah, I don't like to make mistakes, and I don't like to do stuff that's yeah, to like be in the wrong and stuff. Um, so like that, I don't know. For me, it feels basically like it really makes me spiral when I'm told then now that I've done something to hurt someone or I've done something wrong or like I just can't handle it in a way. Like it's like a pure spiral that makes me feel like shit, and it kind of it like takes over my whole being. Everything I feel, everything I think, everything I say is like all dictated and controlled by the fact that I've just done something wrong or I've made someone feel bad or like messed up in some way. So yeah, I want to talk a bit about like dealing with that because this is definitely a conversation for therapists as well. And until I get that, here we are. But like feeling like it's the absolute end of the world when I make any sort of mistake or I do something wrong. And I'm really learning to understand that like that's human. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do stuff incorrectly and like hurt people, and that's just life, unfortunately. But how you handle it is what dictates it, and is what like is what moves it along in a way. Like yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of struggle to completely let myself feel and accept when I'm in the wrong. Like, isn't like I know. So, let's say something's happened. I've done something to hurt someone, or I've made a mistake or something. Like, I can understand, and my brain understands, like, okay, I know I've done something wrong. I've apologized. I know what I need to do next. And like I can recognize all of that. And I understand and I recognize and I completely know that like then their forgiveness or the acceptance of my mistake is completely on that other person or other people. Like it's not on me to decide or anything, of course. But I feel like I can't function until I've been forgiven. And I think that's the thing, is like I just want to be forgiven because I don't want first off to be seen as someone who's done something wrong. I don't want to be kind of like know that I've hurt someone or I've done something to inconvenience someone else. Like I just don't want to just kind of like a burden in a way, but I it's like all consuming, the need to be forgiven. And I feel like I can't like function. I like feel like I shut down completely if I feel like if I need to be forgiven. Like so I think that's why I don't like to make mistakes, is because I like in my family, like again, growing up, we don't really, not that we don't forgive, we definitely do forgive and forgive maybe too much, but we wouldn't talk about it. It's just kind of like a given that it's going to be there. But now that I'm older and like the conversations and like the relationships I have with new people is like, first off, they're pointing out that I've made a mistake, or this like it's being pointed out in general, which is new, and that's like not something I'm used to, and I have to take responsibility for that, and I know. But it's also then their forgiveness isn't a given, and that is where I struggle. I think to know that it's not in my control, and it is in a way like I can do the right things, and I can try my hardest to make sure that like to make it right. But ultimately, at the end of the day, like they can decide whether or not to never forgive me or to never talk to me again, or like in both big ways and little ways. Like I'm not. This isn't. Yeah, it's not life or death right now, but like Anyway, don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I don't know. Being in the wrong guys, like, just fucking sucks, and I just don't like. I just can't conceptualize, and I can't function with knowing that like the other person might not forgive me, and that just might be a mistake that I've made, and that's it. And that like hold it has on me is crazy, and I need to really learn how to. I think it ultimately stems from such a control. Like I need to be able to kind of control that, and because I can, because that's someone else's complete own being and feelings. Like I can't control how they feel. That's kind of, I don't struggle with the fact that I can't control how they feel, but I struggle with the fact that like I've done something to make them feel like that. Like that part was in my control, and I think that's where for me it kind of sucks sometimes, because I'm like, I know that I'm the one who made them. Like again, then yeah, it's just such a spiral, because then it's like, okay, I'm not really allowing myself to make mistakes in that way. But like sometimes I'll do stuff and immediately as I'm doing it, or like right after, I'm like, why did I do that? And a lot of it is just like a defense, a vulnerability defense. Like I don't want to be vulnerable, so I like lash out, which again might be another conversation I have. But yeah, I don't know if this made any sense, and I don't know if this is like if anyone resonates. But being in the wrong, I just can't function. And if anyone has any tips, any tricks, please. I think ultimately it's like I'm not forgiving myself for the mistakes I'm making. So I can't ever imagine that someone else will. And then that kind of kills me that someone else might not. That could probably be it. But yeah, I don't know where to finish that off. I don't know if there is an end to that, because I clearly am still trying to figure it out. Yeah, basically, I hate being in the wrong, and I really need to get used to it. I really need to deal with it and handle it because, like, at the end of the day, why am I like pitying, not expecting pity or forgive? Like, I then feel so bad, but I know that then, like, I don't want the other person to be like, okay, I'll just forgive you because you feel clearly worse about it. It's like, that's not why I want to be forgiven, you know? But it's like, I like shut down, like, I can't. Because then a part of me is like, well, then don't show them that you feel like that. But that's like going against the whole trying to be more vulnerable is by just hiding that part. Who knows? Guys, I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. And if anyone wants to start a GoFundMe so I can go back to therapy, please. I have the money right now, but I do not have the money for the next. Like, basically, I hadn't had it in my notice. I can't remember if I said that. But by handing in my notice means that I'm going to not have the salary I've got now. I'll have to say goodbye to that. Which does unfortunately mean can't afford therapy. I really need therapy right now. If anyone knows any free counseling, if anyone's a practicing therapist and wants to use me as a scapegoat, no, not a scapegoat, something, a training hamster. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Clearly, it's been a day. Basically, clearly it's been a day. Feeling very guilty. I'm feeling very panicked. Like I don't know how to move through my day because I'm like all consumed by this kind of guilt and this need to be like forgiven and but then like my actions, I don't know, it's not like a one and done because it's not a one time offense. It's a bit of an intense word, but it's like I just keep lashing out and I know why I know I'm just doing it to sort of like hide my vulnerability, but I don't want to. Like that's not something I want to do, but it's such an automated response. I immediately feel bad, but I'm like, well, I've done it now. Alas. This has turned into a little bit of a ramble, which is exactly what these videos are going to be. But I'm going to pause this one and then I'm going to move on to maybe some other topics. Because I think there's more things to talk about in life. And right now,